We are recording, and we have Jordan Addison joining us to start off this session. Jordan, we greatly appreciate your time today.
No problem.
We'll go ahead and open up for questions for Mr. Addison.
Jordan, what's it like just working with Coach Marion, and how's that been the past month or two, building that relationship with him?
Working with Coach Marion it's been really fun. Since day one, we all clicked. He knew how to control the receiver room, and he just gets us fired up every day to come in here and work.
What's been the biggest adjustment going from how Coach Beatty coached to how Coach Marion coaches?
The adjustment hasn't been, too big. We all just want to come in there and work. We learn from Coach Beatty, and we're taking that, and we're learning from Coach Marion. So we can just keep getting knowledge everywhere. So I think the adjustment wasn't too bad. I'm just glad we got to learn from both.
Jordan, was it a shock to you to lose your wide receivers coach 1 year into your time at Pitt?
Yeah, I think it was a shock to me. But, I feel like everything happens for a reason. I'm just glad I got to get coaching tips from him.
Jordan, did you know Coach? Did you know Coach Marion before he came here? Were you recruited by him at all, or you come across him at all before?
No, I was never recruited by him.
Speaking of Coach Beatty, Jordan, it's nice to have a guy in the NFL who knows who you are for down the road sometime.
Yeah, that's good.
Jordan, what was your reaction to back in December? A lot of people didn't know Kenny was coming back. So, how did you kind of find out, and how does that kind of help going into a second year working with him?
Man, I found out through a text, and I was just fired up. I was ready to go after I seen that. Just so eager to get back, continue building our relationship.
Jordan, what do you think you need to work on and go into your second season?
Going into my second season, I think I need to work on learning the whole offense, because my freshman year, I feel like I just knew what I was doing. Now I want to know what everybody is doing, so I know the spacing and the timing and where the ball is going to be and things like that.
Jordan, now that you've had some time to kind of reflect on that first season, what did you kind of take from it? And looking back on it, did you surprise yourself at all? And how do you kind of look back on that year?
Looking back at it, I think I had a pretty good year, but I can improve a lot. I left a lot of plays out there that I'm working on, so I just want to make sure I have a better season this season.
Did you let yourself think back all right, well, I was a freshman All-American, or are you just kind of looking ahead now to next season?
I try not to look into all that. I just want to keep moving forward. That happened, and I just want to keep moving forward now and just get better every day.
Jordan, how has Taysier Mack looked? I know he was kind of banged up at times last year. How's he been looking early on this spring?
Early, he looks good. He looks fast. He looked back to himself. I feel like he's healthy, 100%. He been making plays this spring.
Jordan, there's a lot of guys coming back, who had some experience the last couple of years. What's the competition been like in the classroom and on the field with all you guys?
It's been really good. We compete and we push each other every day. So I think with everybody coming back and the knowledge that we have now, it helps even the younger guys, because we get to teach them, and everybody just keep continuing to compete every day.
Jordan, last year, obviously, your spring got cut short, but I think you mentioned a few times that you thought coming in early helped you. With all these freshmen coming in this year, have you been able to kind of help out a few guys, maybe a guy like Miles Austin, kind of show them hey, it's important to get here early and kind of learn the ropes a little bit?
Yeah, I told him that coming in early, it was going to help him out a lot, going through with the plays and stuff. So by the time the season rolls up, he have good knowledge on everything.
Jordan, how comfortable, I guess, did you become with your role last season, and going into this year? Do you want to play more outside? Do you want to play more slot? Do you have a feel for what you kind of want to do in 2021?
Yeah, that's what I have been working on. That's why, when I said I want to learn the whole offense so I can move around a bit and not just be in one spot.
Do you see yourself as ultimately a slot receiver, or do you see yourself as ultimately a wideout?
I'm sorry, can you say that again, please?
Do you see yourself as in the future down the road? Do you see yourself as a slot receiver or as a wideout?
Well, I feel like I could do both, so I wouldn't just put myself in one position. So I'll say I can do both.
Which one do you prefer?
I'll say slot.
Because
I'll say slot because I get to get out into space more, coming across on shallows, working out. Like I get to go against linebackers and safeties, so I feel like I can get to utilize my speed out in space more as a slot receiver.
thank you, Jordan.
No problem.
Jordan, one of the things that Pat told us that he was interested in with this year's spring ball is seeing you go up against some of the younger safeties. You know, you got to in your freshman year in practices, you got to go up against Paris Ford, DeMar Hamlin, guys that have been part of the system. What's it been like, you know, when you're going deep again in those practices and working against some of those younger guys this year and the challenges that they're bringing you?
Going against some of the younger guys, you know, I don't turn it down a notch. I just go 100% because I know at the end of the day it's gonna make them better.
Jordan, last year you were, you did some punt returning and stuff like that. Is that something you hope to do this upcoming season? And who are some of the other guys kind of working at the return spots?
Yes, sir. That's something that I'm looking forward to this upcoming season. And some of the other guys that's doing that is Jalen Barton and Miles Austin is back there too. Also Vincent Davis.
Jordan, which defensive back offers is the toughest for you to go against? Which offers the greatest challenges?
I had to think about that one. I'm not sure right now.
Putting you on the hot seat today, Jordan. Do we have any final questions for our guest?
Sorry, this might have got asked. I got here a couple minutes late, but I wanted to ask, what's it been like working with your new receivers coach, Coach Marion? What's it been like? You know, is him getting in the room, things that he's getting you to work on, and how do you feel about your relationship and how he's pushing you so far?
Like I said, it's been great. Like he makes it fun to come in here and compete every day. He makes us compete. He controls the room well, and I think that's just a good environment to be in.
Jordan, when you look back at last season, as you kind of progressed through the year, you started to get more doubles, more bracket coverages. How much did you learn from that experience? And especially, I think back to the Notre Dame game when they were giving you a lot of double looks.
Learning from when that happened, I just had to teach myself like this is gonna happen more. So I just continue to run my route and maybe getting a double team that helps me get someone else open. So I think that's a good thing too.
Jordan, your freshman year was weird. I mean, you have to admit, pandemic and all this other stuff, you had a weird freshman year. Are you looking forward to experiencing what was college football before all this started?
I'm definitely looking forward to that. I haven't got to really experience that yet. I just want to hear the crowd roar one time.
Jordan, I know you're a confident guy, and I'm sure you felt like you were capable of doing what you did on the field last year, even before you did it. But maybe since the season's ended, have you had some time to kind of think about just how impressive of a freshman season that was for you, and maybe what it means for your future to get that kind of start to your college career?
I think I had a good freshman year, but I don't think it was great. I still got a lot to improve on, but I had a pretty good freshman year though. So it's just gives me a challenge this season to do better.
Does it maybe move up your timeline for maybe some of your internal kind of goals and like kind of places you thought you would be? Is like, oh, okay, well, I started out really good as a freshman. Maybe I can do some of these things I thought I could do a little faster than I thought.
Yeah.
Jordan, you said you had a pretty good year, not a great year. What would have made it great?
Well, my goals are high, so I mean, I think I dropped 10 passes. So I feel like if I eliminate some of those drops, I think it would have been good and, score touchdowns more. I had 4 touchdowns, I believe.
Do you have a goal for 2021, a touchdown goal, yards goal, anything like that?
2021, I won a 1,000-yard season.
1,000 yards?
That's my personal goal.
You sound like someone who's tougher on yourself than any coach can be. Is that how you motivate? Is that how you run?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I said, you sound like someone who's tougher on yourself and sets goals for yourself beyond and above what a coach could do. Is that how you motivate yourself? Is that what drives you?
Yeah, that's I feel like you got to be hard on yourself and you got to believe in yourself at all times. So that's just what motivates me.
All right. Well, we appreciate the conversation today, Jordan. Greatly appreciate your time and hope you have a great rest of your day, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
Apologies that we started a few minutes early there. We need to get Jordan going. And our next guest will be Wendell Davis, who should be joining us pretty shortly. We appreciate all of you being on this session.
I apologize for the barking dog.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh, what's going on?
Just a reminder, like always, we'll send out the recording of Jordan's entire interview there in case you came in right at 12:45. I think we started at 12:41 or so. So hopefully you didn't miss too much of that. But we will send the entire recording out along with Wendell Davis here upon the conclusion of the session.
Is Wendell the last guy for today, Roger?
For today, yes. Last anticipated guest. For today, Wendell Davis is joining us now, and he is unmuted, situated, ready to go. Wendell, thanks for your time today.
No problem, man.
Excited to have you. Got a good group of media. We'll go ahead and open up for questions for Wendell.
Wendell, after missing a lot of time last year, how do you feel?
At the time, I was kind of down mentally because, it was a season that I worked so hard for, prepared for, and I was excited to play. But, I took it as everything happened for a reason and just, get ready to bounce back and have a great year this year.
Wendell, you were injured fairly early in the season. At what point were you ready to start full activities again?
Well, activities pretty much after the season. I was like a month or so after the season, I was probably fully healed and ready to go.
Was there ever a chance, Wendell, that you would play, that if you guys played in the bowl game, that you'd be ready for that? Or were you pretty much shut down for that too? If that was
a chance, I don't know. I had a couple of personal incidents that happened in my life that I had to miss time for as far as rehab. So, that's what I was hoping for as far as the bowl game, the return. But obviously it didn't happen that way. And, I think if I didn't have time off as far as with family issues and everything, I probably would have been able to come back and play that game.
What kind of strides do you think you've made in spring camp so far?
Spring camp, overall, I think I'm just getting better overall, working on different techniques, just becoming an overall better player.
How tough was the timing of that injury for you? Because it really seemed like you had kind of won that job in training camp last year. And then, now, you go a year without playing. Does it kind of feel like you have to win that job all over again?
To answer the question, when I first was injured, I was really down because, like you said, everything was going so well. I had waited my turn and I felt like it was finally my time to go. And every week after every game, I felt like I was just getting better and better. And I thought good things were going to happen. And as far as, earning a job back, I always say, like, even in my first interview, there is no job that's ever just fully yours. Every year you got to come back and earn. So whether I played the whole year and, had a great year, I still would have to come back this spring and that fall and still, earn the spot back. That's just how college football is. So, I'm always ready to go and compete.
So how hungry are you now that you're able to play and get back to maybe winning that starting job? It's going to take some time, but you have to have a lot of hunger to play well this year.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it ever since I got hurt. I'm really hungry. I can't wait to go back out there, the spring and the fall. I can't wait for the fall, especially because, I get to show Pitt, what exactly I can do for, full season linebacker.
What's the mindset of the linebackers this year? Obviously, you're losing Patrick Rashad up front, DeMar in the back. I mean, but the linebackers have a lot coming back.
You know, we have a lot coming back, and I think honestly, we're probably the most underrated group maybe in the ACC. We have a lot of guys who can really go out there and play. So I think we all have that hungry mindset, you know, to really put our name on the map, so, you know, and be the focal point of this team, because they're going to need us as far as the function on defense and special teams. So, you know, I think we got a great group, and everybody in the room can play.
Wendell, you guys got a lot of guys come back. You know, Phil came back for another year. Servassier, you guys, you know, you got Cam and yourself coming back. What was that room like when you were able to like get back to full speed and kind of being welcomed back? Because at the same time, while you guys are each other's competition, there is that relationship as teammates, and they saw your journey as well.
Can you say it one more time?
Well, just what was it like getting back into the room? Like now that you're back with the team, like what was the reception like, and how you guys have been working together?
You know, even though I was hurt, you know, I was still around. I was always, you know, helping out, you know, especially Brandon George, you know, because when I got hurt, you know, Chase started, and then Brandon George obviously had to play more because he was feeling it when Chase got tired and stuff. So, you know, I was still around. I think after like the season, as far as me coming back, I felt like all the guys, you know, opened me again, welcome on open arms, and I think everybody was excited because we are full go.
Wendell, what's it been like getting to know Coach Manilak and what he's kind of brought to that room?
You know, I like Coach Manny a lot. You know, he brings a lot of energy. You know, him being a former player, he has a lot of knowledge that he shows us. You know, every coach brings their own kind of style and their own critiques to the game. So, you know, I think he's, you know, a really smart guy, and I think, you know, he's a really good coach, and I'm happy to be playing for him.
Did he show you guys any of his highlight tape? Did you guys go look up anything, or?
Yeah, he didn't actually show us, but I looked it up on YouTube. You know, he looked good out there.
I was going to say, as a player for Coach Narduzzi, has he given you guys any stories or tips or anything as somebody who's been in your shoes before?
I haven't really heard like a lot of stories as far as when he played for Doozy, but you know, with Coach Harley leaving and him coming in, it wasn't really much of like really as far as drop off as coaching, because you know they're both great coaches, and you know he knew pretty much everything that was going on, so it was just taking after the next step.
Wendell, I could kind of maybe two, maybe even three guys at each linebacker's position who have some experience, who've played well in the past. How difficult is it going to be for your new coach to pick three starters?
You know, I don't think, you know, I mean, that's up to coaches, so I'm not gonna get into that. But I think, you know, as far as, you know, the best three guys who are the most consistent, you know, make plays, and, you know, who are most trustworthy will play. So that's whatever he feels. And, you know, whatever happens, you know, people are just gonna keep competing every week because things change. I mean, I got hurt week 2, so you never know exactly when things will change. So you always gotta be ready.
Wendell, you came back, and you know you guys get your 4 practices in spring ball, but then you guys had to shut things down for a bit. What was that week like? You know, you're trying to get your flow back and playing with the team, and then all of a sudden you guys are back right into COVID mode for a whole week.
Yeah, I think, you know, starting spring ball after being hurt for the whole year, you know, I'm trying to just get back to playing football again, you know, learn how to play football again. I think when the whole COVID break happened, it kind of like, you know, messed up the flow, because, you know, every week, you know, I'm getting back to my old self, getting better. And then, you know, have the time off really kind of paused everything. And really just, you know, got tired a couple of days. But, you know, other than that, I think, you know, now that we're back together, it should be good.
Wendell, with a new linebackers coach, I mean, you had such a good training camp. He wasn't around for that, and then you know you were hurt last season. Do you feel like behind the 8 ball at all in that scenario, or do you know that he kind of went back and looked at training camp film or anything like that?
You know, I can't say I feel behind the 8 ball. You know, at the end of the day, you know, whether he looked at my old film or not, you know, he's here now, so I just got to show him what I can do when he's here, you know, pretty much. And then, you know, hopefully, you know, things work out for my favor and I earn a job again. So, you know.
Well, I've been meaning to ask you, why 20? Not exactly a typical linebacker number. And I know you had 39, so you must have picked it for a reason.
Well, in high school, I wore 22. And obviously, coming in as a freshman, I didn't pick my number, and I didn't want to wear 39. So I wanted to wear 22, but at the time, I believe we had a guy on the team who was wearing 22, and he kind of had like a personal backstory behind why he wore it. So, you know, I didn't want to kind of like get in between that. So I just chose the closest number to 22 that was available. So I went ahead and got 20, you know, something different. some people can know me for.
Maybe they could sneak you in at running back with that kind of number, huh?
I've been telling Coach Whipple and Coach Powell, get a big back package, because I used to run the ball a couple times in high school. So
Anything else for number 20? All good. Wendell, good to see you, man. Greatly appreciate your time today. Terrific job. Have a good rest of your day, man.
all right, you too. Thank you.
Thanks, Wendell.
Thank you. And thank you all for joining us today. That'll wrap up this session. Like I said, we'll send out the video as soon as we can. Hope everybody has a great holiday weekend. And we'll reconvene next week.